Hello and welcome to Integrated Rhythm with Chisomo Selemani and Bobby White, two swing dancing besties navigating race and the black experience in swing dancing and other Afro-centric social dancing. This is part two of a two-part conversation with Crystal. In this part, we cover her father, Whitey's Lindy Hopper Thomas Tops Lee, her coming back into the swing dance world, and her thoughts on how racism has changed since she was younger. Something that's probably good to know for some of the things we discuss later in the interview is that I am a co-director of a performance group called the Harvest Moon Hoppers in New York City with Jessica Miltenberger. Our group was honored to perform in front of a group of 8 previous Harvest Moon Ball champions, many of which were also Mamalu Parks dancers. It was both exciting and terrifying. And we have since been doubly honored to have Crystal Johnson and fellow Mamalu Parks dancer Maxine Simmons come and train us. With all of that in mind, here's part 2 of our conversation with Crystal Johnson.
Integrated Rhythm with Chisomo and Bobby.
All right. So your dad is Thomas Tops Lee, an incredible Lindy Hopper. And those of us listening, if you haven't seen Thomas Tops Lee dance before, I recommend going to YouTube and typing in Tops and Wilda or Thomas Lee and Wilda. And hopefully what should come up are some great examples of some scenes where, first off, they do some killer Lindy Hop, and they also do some Tranky Do stuff, which is all.
Yeah, the Tranky Do. I like that. I like that.
So,
I like that one.
Unfortunately, Thomas never got a chance to tell his story to the modern dance scene. We haven't heard about Thomas very much, and so
no, that's because Daddy passed in what? Let me see. Daddy passed in October. No, passed in 30. Let me see. Count 53. Yeah, did he? It's been a minute. It's been a minute because I'm looking right here. Hold a minute. Daddy was born in 1920. So Daddy died in like 74, like around that time. Yeah, he was, but we had so much fun together. They lived in California. I lived with Grandma in New York. So they were like busy, but it was never too busy. I just love my dad. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because we called in the family, we called him Mr. Show Business. Because every time, like, we always talked about dancing and the Lindy, like, and every time he would always like make that move, like, that's where I get that from him. Like, that was his favorite move. And like, he stopped dancing because his knees was bad. Daddy, like, his knees was really bad because the way they danced back there, they danced harder than we did and faster than we did. Okay. So they ain't play back then. No, they didn't play. And like, he was just like, the night I won the Harvest Moon Board, they knew it before I called California. They got the news. Him and my mom had got the news because when he said, we know, Chris, we know, baby, that's my baby. I was like, I won the Harvest Moon. He was like, we know. I'm like, he said, word travels fast in show business. I was like, yes. Yeah, that was, they were so proud of me. I was just so proud of them. I was so happy that they were so proud of me. It's just like, and being around him. And he always talked about Showbiz. He used to hang out with Timmy Rogers. If any of you know Timmy Rogers, he was a famous comedian.
Let's see, we've talked a little bit about what kind of guy your dad was.
Yeah.
And what did dancing mean to him?
Oh my God. I think that is, if I truly know, he was here, he'd be down with it. He would be down with what's going on now and the change and the teaching and the knowledge, yeah. Oh yeah. He was a born dancer. He could dance. I'm sorry. He could hoof. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And yeah, see, and Daddy lived on 143rd Street, and we lived on 144th Street.
He does this.
This was this was when I was little. Like Daddy used to live on 144th when we was from 144th. He was from 143rd.
Mm-hmm.
And Norman and them was 142nd. Frankie and them 140th. I may have the blocks mixed up a little bit.
Yeah.
But then you got Cecily Tyson. We got all of these fabulous people.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, and did y'all know that I have a picture of Maya Angelou swing dancing? Yeah, I got it on. I somebody had put the picture up, and I was like, oh my God! And I asked if I could snap it. She rocking, swing dancing. Okay, so wow.
No. So let's see. We've got Maya Angelou. We've got Malcolm X. We've got Martin Luther King. All
there you go.
Jitterbugs.
Mm-hmm.
Now that should tell us something right there.
Yeah.
That's how famous that dance is.
Right.
And what makes it so awesome, that dance has stand the test of time.
Mm.
It has stand the test of time. What is it, 100 years almost? Like, come on. I mean, I know there's other dancers and stuff, but for the Lindy and the swing and stuff to be as hot as it is now, that's like the number one thing. And if people who in the business, that dance, everybody's really trying to do the swing and the Lindy, if you ever notice. If you, I'm serious, like, it is the hottest thing going now.
Yeah.
Now, who would have thought that? Back there in the 60s and the 70s, who would have thought that that dance would have been carried on to now? That everybody in the world is doing it.
Yeah.
Everybody in the world wasn't doing it when I was dancing.
Yeah.
Everybody, every country down there got a swing group.
Yeah. Yeah.
China swing, Japan swing, Singapore. Everybody got their own thing going for them. So like, it's a hot commodity. It is hot. It's hot. And you look where you at. All the way in Julapsu somewhere. Okay, so yeah, it's a hot dance. It's hot. And anybody that can catch on to it and move with it, take it, move it. Because it ain't going, I don't think it'll ever stop. If anything, it'll get better.
Yeah.
If not, it needs to get better.
Yeah. Have you seen John Baptiste's song "I Need You"? There's a new song and a new music video that's out that featers Lindy.
I've seen that. I think I've seen that. I see it was online, right?
Yeah.
I seen that. Okay.
Yeah.
It's nice. I mean, like, I don't see nothing wrong with it. I mean, I liked it.
Yeah.
I did. I liked it.
But I think that's to your point that it's still, Lindy Hop is still now, right? That it's still current. It's being danced to modern music now.
Yeah.
So it's
that's the thing I gotta work with. I can't get with the modern music because I'm so used to bassy and that. Okay, I'm in old school when it comes to that. So whenever I teach, that's what I always teach. It would be bassy, Count Basie music. That's what I was taught it. I understand that. Yeah, some things I don't agree with, but it's fine because of the different era. I understand that. I really do. But whenever I teach that, you're gonna hear Count Basie. I'm sorry, because I think that is the thing, man. That is, and like, if you change the music, like when you did, just make sure one thing, you got to feel the music to do this dance. You just can't get out there and dance, especially on the professional level. You have to feel the music. And when I say feel it, it's like when you hear it, you gotta dance. You got to dance, okay? Because I know whenever I hear Basie or Duke Ellington, I'm like, oh my God, where's the dance for? Like, I got to dance, okay? One of the elders has said that Basie, matter of fact, it was Norma, that Basie made his music for the dancers. Like his music was directed to the swing dance, to make you dance. Like his music made you dance. And that's the truth. It made you dance. You couldn't, to this day, I don't care where we are. I could be with Mom Barbara, I could be with Sonny and all of them, but you let all of us hear Basie. And they're older than me. So I love Basie. And I'm like, oh my God. And then all the old stuff started coming out. Remember we did this on that? And it's just that. And if you notice too, though, I know it's the new era, but when you play that Basie for the new Lindy Hoppers, they get with it too. They do. They get with it too. Okay, they feel it. Okay, it's like, oh yeah, like, and when you like, here I go. Like the Harvest Moon Hoppers. Okay, when they hear that music, they feel it. They feel it that sometimes when they dance, they get overexcited. Like you get dancers, you get overexcited and you just start going for it. But that's where that concentration got to come. You know what I mean? But I understand it too, 100%. Because it's like, oh man, I got to swing out on this. I got to, oh yeah, let's, yes.
I can imagine for you as a coach, it's better to have people who are overexcited that you calm them down versus just not excited enough.
I'm a happy person. I am. I love to dance. I love the Lindy, and I love to teach. I love to teach. I do. I love to teach. I'm strict, but I'm nice. You know what I mean? I can get cuckoo, especially if it's time to hit that stage. Okay, you're gonna see a different me. Like Miss Parks used to get. Let me tell you, oh man, when we used to go on stage, Miss Parks was the most nervous person. She would make us nervous. She'd be like, "Yo, okay, make sure your costumes is all right. Make everything is stuck in." And we'd be like, "Everything's fine, Mama Lou." She'd be like, "No, make sure your stocking's okay. No holes in that." We used to be like, "Oh my God." This was every show. Yes.
And
because she was like, yeah, like it was just, that was one of the highlights of Mama Lou. Like, it was, oh man, y'all, fix that tie. Make sure everything, I kid you not. I kid you not. Yeah, she made sure that when we hit that stage, everything was intact. Wasn't nothing coming out. If it had to be pinned up, it was pinned and it was hidden. Okay.
Yes.
We had a ball. I miss her so much, man.
What was
but you know what? Let me tell you something, what happened one day. It was in 2009, okay? And I was in a leadership class. And I asked, now please don't nobody get offended by what I'm gonna say, because everybody don't believe, okay? So I asked the Lord, I said, I want to teach. I like, what do I do? Like, I said, give me an answer if it's for me to go back and teach. Okay. So what I did, now this is really crazy. I went and got this album, this book that I have it showing all the pictures out. So I said, how am I going to do this? How do I advertise this? I took the book upstairs and put it on my dresser. Guess what fell out of the book? Never opened it. I kid y'all not. This was scary. I put the book on the dresser, and this was when I was teaching out in Pennsylvania. And I was like, how can I get these kids to understand what this dance is? And the picture of my dad and Wilda fell out of the book.
Oh, man.
That thing messed me up. That messed me up because I don't care if you believe or not, but when you ask for things, sometimes they come right on time. Yeah. Okay. When I seen that, I immediately made a flyer and introduced Lindy out here. That was my exodus for me to begin, because I really didn't know how, because out here in Pennsylvania, okay. So I'm like, how can I get, and there's so many, it's talent out here, but the kids don't have nothing to do. So I'm just like, how can I do this, Lord? I want to do this. I want to share this dance. I want to do this. When that picture fell out of my book, this white book that I'm looking at, that thing, I never opened it. I just went and got it and set it, and then it fell face up. And I'm like, okay. And from that day, that's where I am now. That was, yeah. Sometimes we get things like, and if you're not up on it, or if you don't recognize something, you miss your blessing. That was deep. I'm telling y'all, man, that was, whew.
Yeah, that's
that was good. That was so awesome. So I share that because sometimes we doubt ourselves. You know, we doubt ourselves. Oh, I can't do that step, or I can't do that air step, or I can't. No. Stop doubting yourself and try it. Okay, try it. Especially if you're scared of it, try it. Because that'll take the fright away. That'll take, or attempt to do it, or just, try it. You might like it. Yeah. You know what I mean? Just try it. Yeah. But that's what did the thing for me. I was so happy that I recognized what had happened, because anybody else would have probably put the picture back in the in the thing and never thought of it. But at that time, what's the word? I was seeking. That's what, there it is right there. And I got the answer just like that. I was in awe, because it was, my prayer was answered. Yeah. You know what I mean? That's why I said, when you know that you're gifted, and you're wasting your gift, or you're not using your gift, because if you don't use your gift, it's going to be taken away from you. It really will, if you don't use it, because you'll find that, oh man, I can't do that no more. That's because you didn't use it, and you let it go away. Okay, or you didn't share it. You know what I mean? So I don't care if it's in writing, cooking, I don't care, whatever your gift is, use your gift and pay attention to the signs that come to you. Because somebody will walk up to you, you don't know. You could be entertaining an angel. That could be your blessing right there. Believe me, I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, and we're all better off because you listen to your blessing, because you got that sign and you started teaching classes and then you shared. And so now
Yes.
I now get to meet you. Lots of other people get to hear your story and be
Uh,
connected to this thing and
yeah.
understand a little bit more about themselves.
Yes. And
So-
there's another thing I want to say too. I always say this in my interviews, don't let nobody stop you from dancing. Just because you don't like that contest or you don't like the person or the person you dancing with don't want to be in the contest, be in the contest because that might be your breakthrough. Just be, yeah, for real. Like, don't let people discourage you from doing something that you love to do. And especially if you want to be in it, or even just to try and say, let's go in here and take this. You never know. You never know who's sitting in that audience saying, oh my God, who's that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so go with your feeling. Don't let nobody talk you out of your show, your dancing. Don't let nobody stop you from your passion. Because once your passion is taken away from you, you don't want to do nothing because you're not happy.
Yeah.
You're not happy. Okay, if somebody told Bobby he couldn't dance right now, he'd have a fit. He'd go crazy.
Yeah.
And I know this because that's his passion. He loves it. You know, I'm saying, yeah, really. So that's what I'm saying. Don't let nobody stop you. Okay. And always take advice from the people who know. So when you get out there, you know what you're doing and you know what you're talking about. Don't go on false pretensions or you say, I say. Go to the source and get the information. Because I've gotten a couple of tests that I don't even know. And it's like, oh, can I ask you? I need to talk to you because they see me on an interview. And it's like, of course, text me, ask me whatever you want to know. You made me want to dance again. I got a text like that. I was so happy to hear that. It's like, did I come over like that? That's great. Do you. I'm telling, don't let nobody stop you from being who you are. Yeah.
That message is coming on time. It is.
Girl, I'm telling you. Look where Bobby is. Ain't nothing stopping him. Him and Jessica is rolling. Okay, and I love him because they are about it. You know what I mean? They're about it. Ain't no mess. That's one thing I don't like. I like mess.
Yeah.
You know, and sincereness and being for real and teaching and just passing it on and loving each other on it. That's when that love. Okay, I don't care what color you are, but you love somebody. You love. Love. I can't. And family. Girl. Because my dance family and my church family, I love them. I really do. And some people just use the word love as just to use it. But just think about that word.
Crystal, there was a time where, so I've been teaching now for about 13 years full time in the dancing stuff. And there was a time where a good, 5-6 years of that, I had kind of like found myself in kind of my own little box. Like, it was traveling and like I had some friends, but you'd only see them on weekends and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it was like working with the group in New York reminded me how much family is a part of this whole experience. The second that there were friends and loved ones meeting together to do this thing, I felt like automatically I felt like a glass that was like half empty or 1/4 empty, all of a sudden just overflowing with like, like it, we would
it
go
hit
there,
you. Yes.
Yeah. And like, afterwards, we're going out to eat. Why wouldn't we go out to eat? Like we're a family. Like,
I love it.
Things were
I
just
love
like
it.
so powerful.
Yes, well, when I met you guys, the night I met you guys, I fell in love with y'all before I met y'all. Okay. And I heard all this talk, oh, they want to be like this. I mean, like, so what? What? So what? What is wrong with that? What's wrong with that? There's nothing wrong with that. And I just didn't like what I got. I'm like, you're a hater. Why would you even, like, why would you even say something like that? Right. Oh, they trying to dance like Mama Luna. You don't get it. You don't get it. They're passing it on. You don't get it. They love the era, just like we love the era. So leave them alone and let them do them. Because you don't want me to go there.
And like,
you don't want me to go there. See, I'll stick up for what's right. But that's it right there. Okay. So no, we don't do that. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Please, somebody, if y'all listening, don't get offended. I'm just being for real.
No, it's truth that we need to hear. We need a little less hating, a little bit more supporting, and
for real,
creative endeavors. You know, I was actually going to share just like a little bit of my personal journey. I'm from Zambia, so I was born in Zambia, and
wow.
Thanks. Yeah.
Wow.
And so I was living in Zambia a couple of years ago, and I became part of this dance troupe, and it was a dance fitness group called Zoka. And I remember I was about to come back to the United States, and the leader of this group was like, "Why don't you take this back with you?" And there was a freedom that I'd felt in Zambia that I hadn't felt when I'd lived here before. So when I came to the United States, I was like, I'm not going to teach because I don't know. I'm a little bit of a bigger girl. So I was like, I'm not sure who else is going to want to learn from me, learn from somebody who looks the way that I do. And listening to you, I'm just like, I wish that I, like younger me, had heard or understood what you were saying. Like, if you have a gift, don't give it up, right?
Don't give it up.
Don't give it up. If somebody has imparted knowledge to you, if you have elders, if you have a community, share it, you know?
Yes.
And I'm saying that now just in case there are any listeners, there's anybody who's thinking like, well, X or Y, Z disqualifies me from trying to even dance or trying to start doing a thing or whatever. It's like, no, listen to your community.
Yes.
And keep it moving, keep moving.
Yes. And another thing too, in the archives, Peg Leg Bates, he could dance forever.
Yeah.
Okay. One leg. Yeah. Okay. There go a good example for those who got any doubt in your mind. Okay. We had a gentleman, I can't think of his name, that was on crutches that Miss Parks used to always have. He was at Smalls with us. He went on a lot of gigs with us. I cannot think of his name. And he was on crutches, and he was in the show. He would dance his tail off with them crutches. So don't let, like I said, don't let nobody discourage you. And you know what you got. Use your gift. I don't care. Start, if you got to start from where I did. Like, start, ask. Like, if you pray, ask for direction. And you better believe you're going to get it. Yeah. Or inquire. Go to older people. Go to where you know is the right thing. Don't go by the you say, I say. Don't go on Facebook. Don't do that. Because stuff on the media, social media, half of that stuff ain't even true. You know what I mean? So go to the source itself. Go to the source. Don't go by the you say, I say. Go to the source. So you could always say, well, I went to the source and this is what I was told from the person who, you know what I'm saying, who was there, or yeah, that's the kind of information that you would want to work with in the future to have your stuff right. So they was like, oh no, we're gonna go to Bobby, or we're gonna go to How you pronounce your name?
It's all good. Chisomo.
Chisomo. I like that. That is so pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah, it fits you too. It fits you perfect. Chisomo. I like that. Yes. And just do it, girl. What you doing now, you love doing this, do it. Make it better than what it is. Because it will go, it's going somewhere.
Right.
Just what I tell you right now, it's going somewhere. It's going this time next year. What you're doing now is going to be bigger than what it is now. Trust me. Believe it. Believe it. Believe it. Believe it. Bobby, y'all are going to really. This was like when I first seen it, I was like, oh, this is awesome. This is good. This is good.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
You heard enough and now it's time for the break.
You know how we here at Integrated Rhythm love to support Black-owned businesses, and guess what? Crystal Johnson is a Black-owned businesswoman, meaning that she owns a Black business, not that she's owned by a Black businesswoman, although she is the Black businesswoman who owns the business that is Crystal Johnson. So technically both are true, although they are awkward to say. You can hire Crystal Johnson for her services. You can hire Crystal Johnson to give a talk. You can hire Crystal Johnson to do interviews. And once this crazy quarantine is over, you can hire Crystal Johnson to teach or to train and coach. That's a fantastic way to not only help keep the flame of Harlem Lindy Hop going, but also to support its Black American pioneers and to keep them in the scene. So if you want to get in touch with Crystal Johnson, just email lindyhopchamp@yahoo.com. That's all one word, lindyhopchamp@yahoo.com. Hey everybody, this is Bobby White from Integrated Rhythm. We're here to ask you to please consider donating to the podcast. You can do so by going to patreon.com/integratedrhythm. You can do so by Venmoing @BobbySwungover. And make sure to put a little IR in the note so we make sure it goes to the right people. You can also do so by PayPaling @BobbyWhite3. And once again, putting a little IR in the window there. Doing so will help us keep this podcast going, and we love doing it, and we hope you love it too. If you can't afford to donate at this time because times are rough, we totally understand. We don't want you to put yourselves out. We want you to keep enjoying the podcast for free. However, if you have a little bit of pocket change in your pocket, we would greatly, greatly, greatly appreciate it. Thanks and have a great day.
The break is over, now it's back to the show.
So, oh yeah, let me see. Mama Lou Parks. She is my daughter's godmother. A lot of people don't know that, but yeah, she's my daughter's godmother. See, and her husband and my husband, they were best friends. They was like that before I even met them. You know what I mean? So it was like, yeah, I got a lot of history with that. Yeah. So like it's just an awesome feeling just to be where I am at my age. And I'm just thankful because I'm 72. I'll be 73 this year, God willing. Okay, and I'm taking care of myself. I'm staying away from stuff because I want to be here a long time. I want to teach and 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 dance and dance. Yes, I love it. Because I'm gonna tell you, you know what? Like when I first came back, you know how people talk, and you start to wonder, why are you getting all these things about you say, I say, until you sit back. And it's like, I tell you, I had to like sit back for a second because I was getting so much stuff and a lot of hatred and and I'm like, whoa, wait, I didn't leave this so I sat back and I start to look and I was like, wow. So I understand why this is like this, because sometimes people don't want you to get in front of them. Remember that. They don't want you to get past them, or they want you to depend on them. Okay, don't let that happen. Don't let that happen. Because when you sit back and dig it, and you be like, wow, they were stopping me from doing A, B, and C when they doing it themselves.
Right. Yeah.
Girl.
Yeah.
Girl. You hear me?
Yeah. Oh, it's the truth. It's the truth.
When my eyes opened up and I seen everything, like, and when I backed off, doors start opening. The doors start opening because I couldn't understand certain things. And I'm like, oh, wait a minute, I ain't stupid. I'm in the profession. I've been here long to know something. And when I stepped back and I looked around, I'm like, I was in a place where I just believed like what I heard. That's where I was at until I stepped back. And this happened in the last 2 years. So I was like, And tell you, doors done open. I've been blessed and everything. So that was a hindrance for me.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, like, just be careful who you be around. Yeah, like really. Be careful who you be around and who's ha ha he he ho ho ha he ho, and always bringing you some news. Like this, just be careful, because some people don't want you to go where you're on your way to, and they do anything in their power to like put a wrench in it with us not even knowing it, and then we'll dig it later and go, oh. You feel what I'm saying? And this in show business is a rude business. Okay, people are like really, like all of us, we're like crabs. It's like, okay.
Yeah.
So you got to be careful who you be with. Just listen, like, just listen. Just listen and pay attention who your circle is. Like, we all got a lot of friends, but you got immediate friends, ones that you trust, and those are the ones you want to stay close to you. You don't want everybody around you just because you're famous. You hear me, Bobby? You don't want everybody around you just because you're famous, before you're famous. Okay? Because that's when the trouble starts. Because okay, and you're there, okay, and you're gonna go further, but you got to be careful, man. Because people will say stuff and do stuff and try to put us in it, and you don't have nothing to do with it, and you ain't never said it.
Right.
For real. So just be careful, like, you just be careful. That's one thing I was told when I started dancing. It said, I was told it'll either make you or break you. And I didn't understand that at that time. And I was like, make me or break me? What they talking about? Make me or break me? I understand that. It'll make you or break you. And you sure don't want it to break you.
Right.
You want it to make you. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I enjoyed this. Yes, I did. I really did. Yes. Yes. So is there anything else you guys want to know?
I think I had one more question, but we kind of talked about it already. So John Lewis in his documentary The Trouble talks about sorry, I need to like look at my words, the words that I wrote earlier. Talked about how like there's certain civil rights battles that were fought and won, but then over time, if we're paying attention, like you're talking about us paying attention, listening, being aware, if you're paying attention, those battles that we thought we won, we've lost ground on, or they've been eroded. Since, so like, even like you were talking about, like this kind of great awakening that we've had in this last year.
Right.
I've heard a lot of people in the last 6 months or so say, like, this isn't the 1960s. Why are people acting like it's the 1960s? And some of my responses have been, because in some respects, we're back where we were with some of these things as in the 60s and 70s. And while racism is different now, it's very different. Like we may not have the same overt pieces. There's still, like you were talking about, how people, without knowing who you are, might treat you in a particular way. They might disregard you or not respect you, which is absolute nonsense. And even the things that you've done are at such a level of recognition, but yet maybe like your achievements are not recognized at that level. Somebody who danced at the Apollo regularly, somebody who danced with James Brown, like iconic people, Red Fox, like all these household names, like you danced with these people. Why don't we know more? Why doesn't the common person know more about you, And so, and a simple response to that is our country's racism. So anyway, I wanted to hear your thoughts about battles of equity and things that you see that might need some work, some things that you've seen that have actually stood the test of time.
Okay, all right. Nothing's really changed. It just came out more. It's just been brought to the forefront. The 60s, I lived through all of that. The 50s, I was young, but I remember coming out to Pennsylvania here when I was about 8 or 9 years old. Grandma brought us out here, and there was a Woolworths, and we wanted a soda and a hot dog. Me and my cousin Donna, my first cousin, and Mama, we went in the Woolworths. So we go and sit on the stools, and Mama said, "No, we can't sit here." I said, "Huh?" She said, "We have to sit in the back." I will never forget that. Never thinking that I would be living here or here, because I'm half and half. I'm half in New York and I'm half in Pennsylvania. So that, I never forgot that. I was like, wow, so nothing's really changed. It's been really brought to the fore. When you look at it, it's even, because back then in the 50s and if you saw how things went, like it was, but now, the generation now, you see it online, they say, "We are not our grandparents, we will hurt you." Okay, because we're tired. Seeing a lot of people, like, let me give you an example. I'm a certified medical assistant, okay? I was working in the office, and my boss, one of the bosses, has said, there was racism in the office, and she was confronted, and she said, "Oh, there's no racism here. I don't see that." And I'm like, like, it's being said to us, and you don't see that. Right. So it's always been there. From these last, 4 years, it has really came to the forefront. Okay, but like I said, they say we are not our grandparents. Like, you come for us and you think you could do what you did back then, it ain't going down, because we're tired. We're tired of not being recognized. Look at the inventions that the Black race has contributed to the world. Some of them air conditioners that y'all don't want nothing to do with us, you got them air conditioners on. Who invented them? Oh my. You see what I'm saying? It's a lot of history. And that's another thing. This is what I always wondered when I went to school. Why it was always white people. We would never do anything. I just never, I say to myself, man, we're not gonna never have a black president. This is when Eisenhower was president. This is how far I'm going back. Okay. And I used to always, man, I wonder like, what all this fighting and rioting and all of this is like, it was amazing what I seen. Like, I remember Martin Luther King, I remember when they had the riots, Martin Luther King, if I'm not mistaken, we was downstairs in the Apollo rehearsing for a show. And they came down and said that they killed Martin Luther King, or that was either that or it was the riots in Harlem. As a matter of fact, it was the Red Fox show. I will never forget that. And we went upstairs after we came, because you could rehearse underneath the Apollo stage as a rehearsal that you could rehearse down there. And when we went upstairs, it was like a riot out of hell. We didn't even know what was going on until somebody from the Apollo came downstairs and told us. So nothing's really changed. Okay. It's just that now it ain't playing. And in a way, and I'm glad that people are reaching out. I am glad that some are reaching out to learn and to understand, and some of them never even noticed it because you go about your daily thing and you don't even realize what's happening to other people and other ethnic races and because we're not the only ones that's being bashed. Right. You know what I'm saying? So it's deep, man. Yeah. It's deep. That's why I said and dancing is one of the keys. You can sing in the shower. You can dance around your house. Dancing makes you happy. I don't care if you go back and forth. You hear a song, like old grandma's hear a song, grandma be going.
Oh no. Crystal. I lost you for a second. I can see you, but I can't hear you yet.
Oh, okay.
There we go. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So like, we just got to stay in prayer. As simple as that. And just hope that everybody, or however you pray, or whoever your God is, or, because I don't want to offend nobody. You know what I mean? I don't want nobody saying, oh, she's that. No.
Yeah.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot. But my friends, like, who I have on, like, everybody who sees Bobby and us, we have a picture together. I have it on my Facebook. Everybody who sees that picture go, that is so awesome. There's different ethnic groups in the group. And I said, that's what it's supposed to be. It's not, we share. That's what it's about. You share and stop hating on each other, especially us as Black women. Okay, they like crabs. They pull each other down. Okay, because you don't like this one, and you stop. Oh my God, just stop it. Stop it. Stop it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I've seen a lot of people do some incredible work and kind of respond to the call in this last year. I've seen a lot of people kind of see that things are not okay and actually start asking questions. I see people developing like true, authentic relationships, doing some work. And you're right, like the way forward is together. The way forward is to share and to connect. Yes. And that's a lot of what Bobby and I are trying to do with our podcast, is to elevate voices, to allow people to share their stories so that those stories can be known, but then also to foster some conversation, because we've seen historically that kind of not the wrong people are doing the work, but it's like
Right.
there are certain people who are doing the work and they're making some strides, but like if we many hands make light work, if we all band in this together and ask some questions and share, we can move forward and we can make things better. So yeah, I really appreciate everything.
Yes,
And
because I'm going to tell you something. I had, before we go, I wanted to do a Harvest Moon Ball championship. It was 2015. I did the flyers. I did it all, okay, with the help of Tiny, and she's no longer with us. It was me and Tiny and Darlene, my heart, Darlene Guest, and we had it all ready. Do you know? This is how much hate it was. I had a couple of couples sign up for the Harvest Moon Ball Championship. And the rules were from the Harvest Moon Ball, the original Harvest Moon Ball, because I was given it. I'm not lying to you. It didn't go off. So I had to cancel it. Okay. And I said, look at this. All the hatred from other foundations, and I'm like, what the HE double hockey sticks is this? Talk about what in the world? You don't want somebody else because of the name? Oh, girl. That day I was like, oh, it's like this. I said, okay, okay. So I changed, yeah. That was deep. So I'm like, okay, yeah. And the prize money was big. The money was big. Everything was, and I think that one of the things was nobody wanted to, because I had asked, like, I want to take it to where the costumes were beautiful. Like you actually have to get your costume made. You had to do the thing, like, y'all want the Harvest Moon Ball, we gonna do this. They couldn't foresee it. Even if it was for that 1 year, that would have been. So I said, oh, so I know what it was. Cause I ain't lying. And then I'm a park cat. I'm a Mama Lou Parks dancer. Okay, already know what it was about. After I said, okay, but I don't care because I'm gonna keep going, because that did not and will not ever stop me. Yeah, and yeah, and probably some of those who were watching might have seen the flyer back then. That was what, 2015? Was that 6 or 7 years ago? So I said, okay, keep it moving by.
Yeah.
You wouldn't see you when I see you.
Yeah.
So I'm happy where I am. I'm still teaching, and I'm not giving it up ever. So they can forget that. Yeah.
We are so thankful that you aren't going to give it up, because it's been such a blessing to get to know you and work with you, and
yes,
and I hope that everyone listening to this will, as soon as we can, hire this amazing woman to do something to make your world a lot better, because she can do it.
We have so much fun together, man. I still be getting messages from the group talking about, I can't wait till we get back so you can kick our ass again. Yeah. I'm on that. I'm telling you, those are the texts I'm getting. It's like, we cannot wait to get. And me and Maxine, we are so ready. That's my girl. That's my dance sister. Yes, we grew up together. Yeah, that's my homie. Yeah, she just was interviewed last week on another podcast. Like, on Jazz Attack. She was on Jazz Attack. But we are ready, we are willing, able, and I love Bobby and them, and they know they got me. They know that. Yeah, as anybody. They got to go through Bobby to get to me. Okay. Yeah. That's right.
I'll say right this way.
Yeah.
Podcasting ain't free. Podcasting ain't free. You may think it costs no money, but podcasting ain't free. Whee!
Hey everyone, thank you so much for listening to Integrated Rhythm. We'd first off like to thank Tom Blair for his fantastic advice and Robots Radio Network for all of their support.
We would also like to thank Michelle Stokes and Laurel Ryan for their musical musings. Thank you so much for our introduction, our outro, and any sound things you hear in the middle that are really cool. That's them. We appreciate you.
And special thanks to Jessica Miltenberger for her enduring support, not only of this podcast and the inner workings thereof, but also as my wife.
And great gratitude goes out to our friends and family who are the shoulders that we lean on and the ears that we speak to. If you listen to this podcast, you're part of that, and we appreciate your enduring support.